13-month-old boy with acute lymphocytic leukemia at John Hopkins Children's Center in Baltimore is the latest child begging for a life-saving drug from the same company which refused to provide it in the past. Now, you remember the drug company Chimerix from the case of Josh Hardy, covered here on Fox, which repeatedly refused to provide that dying boy with a drug called brincidofovir, also known as CMX 001. And that's been shown to treat the adenovirus, which can be deadly. Chimerix has received $70 million in federal money to develop the drug. They finally relented and gave Josh the drug under a new pilot program. And today, Josh is out of the hospital, and his mother says he's growing stronger every day. Chimerix stock rose after the controversy, and they said that a compassionate use program to help people who could benefit from the drug was just too expensive for them. Now, Chimerix has initially refused to provide, again, compassionate use or a spot in the national trial to baby Judson of Lockwood, New York, who is suffering from the adenovirus and is currently on a ventilator at Johns Hopkins. Tammy Shepard, Judson's grandmother, spoke to me from the ICU late last night, and told me the baby has been battling leukemia since he was 6 months old. She said Judson is touch and go. This drug is his only hope. And she said a team of doctors and nurses were rushing to his bedside as we spoke. Judson's family was originally told that he could not receive treatment at Johns Hopkins because it was not part of the Chimerix trial. Now, after our calls to Chimerix, they may be changing their mind. Listen to this, Steve. About an hour ago, I just received this statement from the company. There are currently 10 clinical sites participating in this trial across the U.S., all of which have agreed to accept pediatric and adult patients transferred to these locations. From our ongoing communications with this young patient's physicians and administrators at Johns Hopkins over the last several days, we believe he may be eligible to participate in the trial. We submitted an additional list of questions last night, which Chimerix has so far refused to answer.
Well, that's quite a story. So for folks watching, we had this other case, Josh Hardy, a while back, and you helped him get the drugs that saved his life through that company, Chimerix.
Same company and same drug.
And the same circumstances, compassionate use. So now, suddenly after you called, they go, oh, maybe we can. It seems to me that there ought to be a better system other than the threat of dragging a company onto television to get these people the drugs they need.
And I think that's why we're talking about it this morning. This is an inherently unfair process. One, at the drug company level. Two, at the FDA. People should not be having to call me at 8 o'clock at night to say my grandson is dying and this drug company will not act, and that they've done this same routine in the very, very past. There is an inherent instability, a confusion, a lack of reliability in terms of getting the drugs that we need. Now, this one particular company, Chimerix, they decided we don't want to spend money on a compassionate use program. And after days of discussion here on Fox and on social media, they said, oh, we're going to set up a pilot program. But they would not let this boy, and they still have not let this boy, Judson, from Lockwood, New York, 21 months old, dying of leukemia and this adenovirus, into this program. They say, oh, we may let him into this program after we called last night. People should not have to be put to those kind of steps to call up legal correspondents on television to get their children the medications that are available and should be available under compassionate use.
It's crazy that they would say, this boy is adorable.
He is adorable.
It's crazy, though, that the company would say, we don't have the money for those programs. They have $70 million worth of federal dollars, right?
They got $70 million. Do they have a corporate obligation? Do they have a contractual obligation? No. Do they have a moral obligation as an American company? Yes. If you're interested in this issue, you can go to foxandfriends.com. The family has asked that we put up a petition asking Chimerix to provide the life-saving drug for this little boy, Judson. And this is an incredible story. We're going to talk more about the FDA and companies like this and how and why you should get the drugs that you and your family need.
I'm glad you brought this to our attention.
Good to see you, Steve.
Peter Johnson, Jr., America's lawyer.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.